Okay, so now we're going to do a northern, and Lester's going to fillet and debone all at the same time. Don't try this at home, people. He's a professional. Talk while you're doing it.
Split the belly. Hey, look in here. There is a jig.
And a perfectly good jig.
Perfectly good jig. We'll save that.
And now we know what he likes to bite. Too bad he's dead.
So all you do again, same as walleye, you split on the head, split the belly back to the fin, scrape your knife, put a lot of pressure on your knife and hold tight on the head while you're pushing that knife right down that backbone. And it slides right off. Same thing on the other side. Lots of pressure on the knife and pull back on the head as you're doing it. You have your two fillets. The first thing I do is I trim off the fins and the rib cage.
Notice how he's using the tip of his knife to trim along that rib cage. You might have to do it 2 or 3 or 4 times. Kind of small slices and keep working your way down that rib cage.
Just turn your knife flat then and cut underneath the rib cage so you don't lose much fish. There you go. Now what I like to do to find the Y bone is if you scrape your knife back the thick part of the fish like this, you're going to see little white tips stick up. That gives me exactly where the Y bone is, so you can tell where to start making your cut. So I turn it over, and the Y bone always slants like this to the thick part of your fish. So your first cut, on the upper side of those white tips, just make a very light cut all the way back to the tail. Go in the same cut the second time, but turn your knife there, the shape of that bone. That's why it runs out there. Once you do those couple cuts, come on the inside of your Y bone, go deep with the top of your knife and turn it flat. And if you put some pressure on the handle and work it back, you slide your knife underneath that Y bone. See, like that. Then you take the tip of your knife and you start to work it out on each side. When you get it started, you can pick it up and hold it with your knife, and it just pulls right out of there. There's your Y bone, and here is your fillet. There are no bones in there now, and you're taking it home again. You just
he's doing that. He's doing that slide from the tail, just like you do on the walleyes.
And you want to leave your patch, 2-inch patch, for take home. Get the rib cage out. Put your knife flat and just slide underneath it. Scrape your knife so you can see that Y bone. Now this fillet is the opposite fillet, so you start from the tail and come up to the head. But always start on the thick side of your fish. Very light cut. The second time, slant that knife like that. Then go deep on the inside, put a lot of pressure, slide your knife underneath that bone. It takes a lot of practice. I've been doing it for a long time. But it takes a lot of practice, but it's very effective. You lose a bit of fish on the Y bone, but you still end up with a nice fillet that is boneless. And they're very good fish once you have all those bones out. And that will be a northern for take home.